Hey, do you want me to start?
No, hang on. Okay,
Okay.
Okay, we're live. All
we're good to
right.
go.
All right. Excellent. Then I would like to call to order the Finance Committee meeting of, pardon me, Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. It is 1:02 p.m. and we are live on a digital platform. We have two items on today's agenda. Only one item with any real meat to it, which is item number one, a resolution to accept the fiscal year 2023 audit reports. This is very exciting because the city has been exceptionally far behind on audit reports for quite a long time, and 2023 is supposed to be the first year for which we have pretty clean audited numbers. So hopefully there's a bit more meat to this one than there has been to the last couple. With us today, oh, I'm so sorry, I should call the roll. Um, Present today from City Council, we have Randy Allison, Eric Biter, and myself, Liz Mealy, as well as Bonnie Katz. Randy, Eric, and I are members of the Finance Committee. From the administration, we have Chris Black and Jamie Livermore from Finance, Janice Frank from the City Clerk's Office, and then our distinguished guests from Zelenkowski Axelrod, right? Are Justin Bell and Kim Stank to present the 2023 audit reports. Okay, Kim, do you want to, Jamie, Kim? I'm not sure who wants to take it lead out, but
Kim can go ahead and give her explanation of
all
them.
right.
Hi, thank you. Welcome, and thank you for having Justin and I. As you said, this is some good news of our financial statements. Am I able to share? Because I would like to share the screen. This sharing's not turned on right now. Would you like to see the financials as we're
Give me
going through
just a
them?
minute.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you should be able to now.
All righty. All right, you should be able to see the cover sheet for the 2023 financial statements. Can you see them?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. And hopefully you had the opportunity to review them. We'll kind of skip on through the table of contents to the independent auditor's report. As Liz had alluded to, this is good news. We've kind of went down a long road over the past few years, and we are pleased to be able to present an unmodified opinion over your primary government. So that is essentially your government-wide and your fund statements. So the primary government itself, unfortunately, there is an adverse opinion, but that is over the component unit. You know, the parking authority currently is behind in their audits, and that because of the way that they are set up, they are actually a component of your government as a whole. However, separately, discreetly presented. So at some point, hopefully, we can get them caught up as well and be able to include them in your report. But as I said, unmodified opinion over the governmental activities, the business type activities, major funds, aggregate remaining fund. So great job to Jamie and her team for getting us to where we are today.
Thanks, Kim. Hey, Kim, can I ask who is handling the parking authority is still completely behind on their audits, like from 2020 up?
From, I believe so, from 2019.
2019. And do they have a contracted firm that is supposed to be handling those audits or not?
We had talked to them in, I think, June or July and sent them a proposal. And I have followed up several times, but I have not heard. So I don't know if they have contracted with someone or not.
Okay. Thanks.
So,
That was
yeah. I mean, our hope was when we talked to them, I didn't believe it was the bank that was wanting them to go the whole way back. And we suggested maybe we could talk to the bank and, 2019, that information from them, do they really need that? I mean, we're now, 6 years later. Would it be better if we just get them? Could we do 23, 24, 25? Could we do some other mix of reports? And the bank was pretty insistent that they wanted to go back to 19. So, but, if we get contracted, we can again revisit that, and we would be happy to talk to the bank and see what we can provide that, may help them.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, thanks. I'm glad that you're at least invested in that a little bit, but
Yes.
I think probably that's something that city council should probably ask for a meeting with the parking authority, Eric and Randy, to try and get clear on where they're at. Because I think there's a lot of questions about exactly what's going on there right now.
Sure. And anything we can do to help, we'd be happy to do.
Thank you.
Mhm. Moving on, again, just our normal opinion, good opinion. It does talk about the required supplementary information, the supplementary information, omission of the MD&A. Again, the management's discussion and analysis has been omitted. I would anticipate, hopefully for 24, we would want to add that back in. So, and that's the opportunity for management to really go through and discuss the changes that have happened. In the past, we've kind of decided that, we'll not include it because the reports were so far behind. All righty. The entity-wide statements, and I guess tell me how detailed you want to go into the statements. Liz, you're muted if you're.
Sorry about that. Suddenly somebody was making noise out in the kitchen and I muted myself and I forgot. I said, I'm assuming you're coming on Thursday as well, Kim?
Yes.
To do, right. So I think guys, what do you want? Do you want the highlights? Do you want, we're probably going to have to do a bit of a dive on Thursday, this being the first unmodified opinion we've had in a bit. So how much information do we want now versus later?
I would say highlights are good for now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So just highlight, your statement in that position, total assets, almost 82 million, deferred outflows, 7.5 million, liabilities, 151, and deferred inflows, 42 million. So ending result is a deficit of net position of 104 million, which is something when you kind of peek up at your liabilities, you'll see that OPEB and pension are the drivers that drive that down to negative as well as. Alrighty.
Yeah. I know OPEB seemed to be the primary driver. Our pension, actually, I have not made a meeting in a minute. Our pensions are not substantially underfunded at this point, correct? It's primarily the OPEBs.
17 million is the net pension liability.
Yeah.
At the end of 23.
Yeah.
And the OPEB is 98 million.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely. All right, continue.
Alrighty. Moving on to your statement of activities. Again, this is government-wide, and there's a change in net position of a positive 21 million. So obviously that's good news. You can look, let's see if I can, in this section here, it kind of goes by the various functions and talks about expenses versus the revenues. And then, as you know, your real estate revenues taxes are really one of the drivers of income for you, as well as your grant funds. Moving down, so fund level, and this is kind of the what you budget on, and the 1 year picture of your entity, your government, your city. So the various funds: general fund, home, capital projects, the American Rescue Plan, and then the non-major funds is the combination of everything else. Included in that general fund is that emergency reserve fund. So positive, your fund balance at the end of the year, you can look to see, and I know it's a little small, I'll make it bigger. At the end of the year, you have positive fund balance in all of the funds. All right, moving on, this is the reconciliation between the two. And then in your statement of revenues, expenditures, changes in fund balance, you can see there is the change in fund balance was positive for the various funds. And then moving on to your budget to actual, Now, this is the true general fund, and it excludes that emergency fund. So as you can see, this shows the differences between your budgeted revenues and your actual revenues. So positive, and then in your expenditures, you actually spent less than what you had budgeted. So also positive. So overall, 3.4 million positive. Moving on, as you know, this is your internal service fund. It gets at the entity-wide level, it gets meshed into your governmental funds. I won't spend a whole lot of time on that. Fiduciary fund, this is your pension, and then your custodial funds. And there's a change in that position for your pension fund of positive 12 million, and custodial funds is minimal. But as you know, custodial funds aren't really your funds, so. And then the footnotes. So there's not significant changes in your footnotes, so we won't go into too much detail with them. And do we want to, any questions on the financial statements? The end are, we'll get to the very end. There's a lot on your pensions, a lot of notes. And then we get to your required supplementary information. Included in that is schedules for your pensions. And then we've talked before about the non-major funds, the combining schedules, so a balance sheet and an income statement for those. And the combining for your custodial funds.
And the custodial funds, remind me, I'm assuming those are small amounts of money set aside for Brandon Park, etc.
No, those are custodial funds are funds that actually aren't yours. You collect, for example, like tax collecting. You're collecting it for other entities. So you're collecting taxes for the school districts.
Right. Got it.
Any questions on the financial statements, or do you want me to go back to anything?
How does this compare to, sorry, the problem with doing all these audits significantly after we would have done them? How do these numbers, and this might be a better question for Jamie. Jamie, how do these numbers compare to where we thought we were starting out with the budget in, say, 24? Does this leave us as we would have anticipated with more money in the bottom line?
So we did adjust our 2024 budget.
So the 24 budget was accurate when we started?
Not 100%. I mean, as we went through the audit, the 24 numbers are more accurate than 23 numbers would have been. So we build each year on any corrections or changes that we make, any of those types of things. So 25 numbers are more accurate. We had more of the information for 23. Any of the changes that we made for 23 should be pretty good in 25. 26 will be where you see like all of 23 is done now. 24, the majority of that information is all set and ready to go for audit. So that information should be correct. So when we go into the 26 budget, we should see the most accurate of the information.
Right. So our starting balance in the 26 budget will hopefully be within a couple $100,000 of the amount of money we actually have to start 26.
Yes. Things should look a lot better and more accurate. Yes.
Okay. So I guess my question here is, because I no longer remember what our starting balance was for 24, to what extent do the numbers reflected in the audit, like what's the difference between the the audited numbers and the starting balance that we believed ourselves to have in 24?
Let me hop in and look. If you have any other questions for Kim, you can ask her and I'll try to hop in and look.
Got it. Kim, we no longer have concerns about HUD spending, community development. Those units are auditing out okay at this point?
Yeah, but we'll go through the single audit
Yeah.
in a few
Okay.
seconds.
Got it. And sorry, I'm a little sidetracked by this whole parking authority thing, which is distressing. To what extent will the parking authority lack of audits affect our, because part of the reason that we've been trying to catch up on audits, aside from the obvious fact that it would be great to catch up on audits, is because our borrowing power and our financial powers with banks are limited until we have up-to-date audits. To what extent will the parking authority's lack of audits affect our ability to go out for borrowing or anything of that nature, or to go for grants?
Yeah, so when you look at the independent auditor's report, it's pretty clear as to your primary government has an unmodified opinion. So because that piece is very clear when you look at, and then it talks about the adverse opinion being just over the discretely presented component unit. And typically, debt holders, they'll understand that. So they'll be able to, look at the opinion and actually understand you have an unmodified opinion for your primary government.
Got it. So it's not the sort of thing where it's just a box we'd have to check, and if we can't check it, then we can't do anything. It's less black and white than that.
Right.
Okay, good.
You'll have to talk to your FA about it, but
Right.
yes.
Yeah, I'll try to remember to do that the next quarterly report here.
Liz, I do have the answer to your question quick if you want
Sure.
to do before we go over.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the 2024 budget, and we had a beginning balance of 3.8 million. And so the 2023 on their budget to actual sheet was 6.5. So you can tell that difference. Now, 2025 was based on, changes in those numbers. So that 2025 would have been a little more accurate than 24, but you can see the difference between the ending balance in 23 and what we had budgeted as a starting balance in 24 was pretty significant.
Right. Yeah, that was that's kind of what I've been figuring, but you're saying anyway, it's not like it's going to impact year over year. So
yeah, because we kind of
we
cumulatively
caught it up.
correct things. Yeah.
But well, that's unfortunate, Jamie.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, no, I mean, I'm glad we've been cumulatively correcting things, but that's better than the opposite, especially had we been cumulatively in the hole. We would have wanted to know that before an audit discovered it for us. But anyway, just and we do not need to go back and correct that, right, Jamie?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Good.
We change every year. We update the information to the most accurate information. So the budget reflects the 2023 most accurate information in 26. We kind of have those years in the past so that we can show the more updated information.
Got it. So what you're saying is when we get the budget and it goes back the 4 years, it will show us more accurate numbers for our ending fund balance, as reflected by the audits.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. All right. Randy and Eric, do you have any questions?
I do not. You asked all the good ones.
Anything, Randy?
You covered it pretty well. Yeah, it is too bad that there's that big gap between what was projected. Well, it wasn't really projected because we didn't have all the solid numbers at that point. So,
right.
But
it'll be a relief to be caught up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, that's all I have.
And it's been an adventure getting here. So kind of.
Right. And speaking of getting caught up, when do we expect to have the 24 audits?
So we currently have an RFP out for 24 through 26. I think the end date on the RFP is October 6th. So once we finalize that, we're pretty ready with numbers, so we hope to start it as soon as possible. I can't say when it will be done for sure, but we should probably be ready to start, as soon as we get the RFP fulfilled.
Jamie? Okay. RFP responses. Good. So I guess our end goal is still to have the 25 audit completed by September 30th of 26, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, good. All right, excellent. I'll be excited to hear whether Zamankowski was one of the people willing to respond to our RFP come October 6th.
Yes, we've gotten you this far, so we want to keep down this road. So, as I said, it's exciting to finally be able to give you an unmodified opinion on your primary government. So,
yeah, we're really excited about that too. Okay, well, if we're moving on to the single audit, then Kim, you want to take us through that?
sure. So, single audit, it is two opinions in there, two reports to you. One is internal controls over the financial statements. And fortunately, this year we were finally able to actually test controls. So that's good news. There is a one finding over this. It's considered a material weakness, and it's over the reporting entity, obviously because of the adverse opinion, because of the parking authority. We do have to issue a finding, but in the finding itself, when we'll get to that, it is clear that it is because of the parking authority. So other than that, no other items were noted as far as for financial internal controls over financial statements. So everything looks good. And then the second report that we give to you is over the actual major federal programs that are tested. And in there, we tested ARPA as a major program. And there is one finding that was related to the reporting. And in talking to Jamie and everybody, that actually was caught by you guys internally. It just will get rectified because of the way ARPA is reported. You can't go back and fix your old reports, and you just file the next one and you fix it in the next one. So it'll get fixed in the next report, or maybe it already has been fixed.
Yeah, it was fixed and it's all correct now.
Yeah. So those are those opinions. And then again, your CFA shows that you had $12 million total of federal expenditures. 11.6 was over the ARPA funds, and 500,000 is your CDBG. Footnotes similar to those of the past. And then, as we said, the findings, the finding number 1 is over the parking authority. And number 2, as I just said, it's over reporting, which has been rectified. So that's your single audit in a nutshell. Any questions over that?
I don't think so. It's good to know that we've fixed the issues that we need to fix. Now I think we need to fix the issues that other people need to fix. Randy and Eric, any questions from you?
I was just curious, what was the issue with the ARPA, Jamie?
So in 2023, I think that's the first year we started the reporting. We had worked with, now I wasn't part of this, but then when they did the reporting, they worked with Claire, and it was kind of unclear how to present each type of expenditure, so that we kind of broke them down way more deeply than we had to. And it got very confusing when we were reporting things, like they broke helmets and face masks and all those things down to teeny tiny small like projects. And then when we were reporting them, they got reported duplicate times or missed. So when I came and Valerie and Melanie started doing the reporting for ARPA, we went back through everything and made sure that it matched all of our spreadsheets that we had. And we just needed to update some of the expenditures that had happened. That was all. It was just some things were missed, or some things were duplicated. Like protective clothing was a list, but then there was also an expenditure for helmets and masks and all that stuff. So I think some things got duplicated under both types because they were kind of the same category. It was just a very challenging thing to get used to, I guess. The ARPA reporting can be very challenging, but we have since, like, it matches to the penny now, so we're all good.
All right, I just wanted to make sure we didn't spend the money on something that wasn't approved or something like
Yeah.
Oh, no, nope, nope.
Sure.
that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I will confirm with Jamie, yes, the ARPA reporting has been a challenge for many of our clients, and they have even changed the code several times. So you have a project and you think it's under one code, and then all of a sudden they put out a list of different codes. So it's been Treasury has made it an adventure.
Yeah. I think a lot of those programs were so swiftly implemented that then, it winds up being a real pain in the butt on the back end. Anyway. All right, but yes, it's not going to cost us money. Seem to be the thrust of it so far, Eric. Okay.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
And Jamie, I'm assuming we don't have anything upcoming that will cost us money. Anything we've spent ARPA funds on that it's turning out it's not approved.
No, not that I know of.
Okay, fantastic. Good.
Everything seems good.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No, for Thursday, would you like us there or would you like us online?
Oh, I think online is fine. Unless anybody else. I don't think there was, anything so hair-raising about this report that we need you guys physically there to hold our hands while you give it to us. So hopefully that'll be good. All right. Okay, then if I'm not hearing any other questions on the audit reports, guys, we can move on to item 2. Cool. All right, item number 2 is any related items. Does anybody have anything to introduce? Hearing nothing, I think we can probably adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Justin. We appreciate your time, and we
Yeah, thank
appreciate you working through all of this with us. I'm sure
You're
it's an
welcome.
accounting course nightmare.
Right.
Our pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys on Thursday.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.
See ya. All right, I'll see you guys Thursday too.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See you, Liz.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.